Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Barb Bacon, and I'm a community advocate here in South Charlotte. If I had my buttons on today, it would be let's get some gun control. I'm tired of looking at the news and seeing this. Black Lives Matter in honor of our friend Joel. And let's have equal rights for everybody.
Hello, this is Jenny-Jaymes Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms and Men Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms and Men Action, gun sense legislation, healthcare for all, Medicare for all, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee and Dulce time.
Woohoo!
Guess what, kids? It's December, in case you don't know what day it is or what month it is. But December of 2024, we've definitely gotten to the last month, the portion of the year.
Wow.
We all look forward to in many ways, and there's so much festiveness and lights out and, you know, Santa Clauses and all kinds of cute stuff. And, you know, according to some people, we outlaw Christmas and, you know, this stupid stuff. But anyway, it is Coffee Pan Dulce time with Christian and Jenny. And take it away, Christian. Let's go.
Yes, Jenny said, welcome, everyone. This is Coffee and Pan Dulce. We want to welcome everyone who watches us on Facebook and YouTube and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. As Jenny said, when you see this show drops on December the 4th. We only have, after this show, we have 3 more shows. I believe that's probably right. Something around there until we end the year. It's hard to believe 2024 has come and gone, which I'm fine with. I don't know. What do you think, Jenny? This has been our running theme all year long.
No,
I mean, 2024. It's like
it's bittersweet for me because a lot of good things have happened to me, especially in this last part of the year.
Yeah,
I can't say the person that I'm dating right now she's an absolute delight, and probably will eventually have her on the show. She is a musician and absolutely stunning. I don't know why she's with me, but she is definitely becoming she makes me smile.
That's wonderful.
And I'm getting the work that, you know, and building something for our community, for our LGBT community and the other people that I've always wanted to do. And it's 2024 has been good to me. And in many ways. And I've had a lot of people embrace me and hug me, and including you, Christian. And I want to say that I love you, and you've been a rock. You've sometimes been that brother to me, where you've done, you know. Have I been the rock
that threw into the window? Is that
sometimes? Yeah, sometimes you're the turd in the punch bowl, but most all, I mean, you've embraced me, you've helped me, you've done what I needed instead of sometimes when I wanted it. And most of all, you've been a really good fucking friend. And I want to acknowledge how proud I am of you, of the things that you've overcome, and how strong of a man you really are, and how beautiful a life you've created for yourself. And you're truly an inspiration in many
Well,
ways.
thank you.
And we don't say this nice stuff all the time as much as we should, but we should lead with love. Maybe just a scooch more, not too much, because I don't want this to be fucking sound. But you know, I don't want you to get too big of a head. But
sure.
For all the people that just know you from your public persona, they don't know the real you. And I'll tell you, you're really just a big old softy, but you got a good heart, and you try to just love everybody where they're at. And if I'm going to say, you probably live the way most people should live, which is loving even the other side. You sit down and you break bread and have drinks with people that I couldn't stomach to do, but you do it because you've got a kind heart and
well,
and I think
thank you.
And thanks for
being
very
kind. Well, thank you, and you're I love you as well. So thank you so much, and we love all of those who watch us and listen to us. See how I pivoted. See how I
turned it right back into the show. That's personal conversation, but I think our chosen family in this time of the year, we should embrace a little bit more and embrace the people that embrace you. And sometimes we take people for granted. Sometimes people have that expectation they're always going to be there. That's not always true.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point.
Good time reflect.
Yeah, exactly. Very, 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 very excellent. Great intro to our show, and we'll jump directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, here we go, Jen. I got 3 of these, and I hope you will enjoy these. The very first one is actually kind of cute, but I'm only doing it because I just like the title. There was a guest that appeared frequently on Fox News that would always slam San Francisco. The MAGA crowd. I don't want to call them conservative because they're really not conservative. The MAGA crowd. They love slamming big cities, the Detroit, Chicago,
so
San Francisco. Yeah, it's scary. The big scary cities. This MAGA, this guy got arrested for doing drugs and working as a pimp. So I just thought that's kind of an interesting topic. And once again, one of the persons who's yelling the loudest is one of the persons you have to look into. It's always that way. The next one, there was an article that came out, which I thought was really interesting. It almost seemed like this came from our show. The title was, it was an op-ed from Natasha S. Alford. She did this the week that we taped this. And the title is, What did Black Latinos think about those pro-Trump Latino exit polls? And the article was trying to educate people that Latino and Hispanic is not a race. It's an ethnicity. So you have many Latinos that are white, and you have many Latinos that are Asian or African-American, or not African-American, Black. Are Afro-Latinos. And so, yes, you are going to have racists or white nationalists in Latino Hispanic population because they are white. And so she talked about this and about how the major networks, especially the news media, they still talk about Latinos and Hispanics as if they are a race, and they are not. So I thought that was a very interesting kind of op-ed and article. And then the very last one I thought was also very interesting. It was in CNN. CNN did a story about how these older voters who backed Harris are engaging in quiet resistance. The Vice President Harris won voters 65 and plus and over. And a lot of these voters are very distraught because Donald Trump won the election because they see him as a threat to a democracy. These are the individuals and how they plan to do quiet resistance. In other words, they're going to be backing groups like the ACLU. They're going to be putting their money into National Organization of Women and so forth because they can't comprehend how this guy could be our president. So I want to see if you have any comments on those three, Jen.
Well, they're not too far off what I talked about on the other show. It's really hard to see people that they're going to get their face eaten off by the leopards back the people that are going to eat your face off. And you kind of go, one part of me wants to scream out, hey, that probably isn't a good idea. Another part goes, I'm going to sit back, pop some popcorn, and watch their faces get eaten because they deserve it. There's a certain part, and that comes with older white people that voted for Trump, but also Latinos, especially white Latinos.
Sure.
It's kind of mind-blowing that this guy has disparaged different groups of people for pretty much all of his life.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, but he doesn't mean me. I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah.
I waved the American flag and I served as a Marine and they certainly wouldn't turn on me. They certainly wouldn't deport me or my family accidentally or harass me or go. Certainly that'll never happen to me. And they're going to be one of the first ones that are going to be affected.
Exactly. Until it does. Yeah.
And they're going to target Latinx churches and Hispanic churches because they know many of the new arrivals are religious. And just you wait and see. If you thought the last 4 years was heinous in certain states, just think when there's a federal government that won't sue them.
Yeah.
Just think about all the crazy ass bills they're going to propose in 2025 in Texas, Arizona, and all the states where the idiots are in control. And
not one of those bills are in Jenny. Not one of those bills are going to impact inflation, get them a better job, or lower the price of milk.
Well, I will correct you. I'll correct you. It is going to affect inflation because it's going to make it go up.
Yes. That's what I mean. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Deporting 15 million people ain't going to make prices go down.
Exactly.
So the stuff that's needed to make your cold beer, for example, or your gallon of milk, do you think it's a bunch of white people making $50 an hour milking them fucking cows? Making your bread. You think of the Mr. Baird's plant, it's a whole bunch of white people that graduated cum loudly from Princeton making $62 an hour. No. It's probably a new arrival. It's probably a bunch of people that can barely speak English.
Exactly.
And you genius chuckle fucks voted for a guy that you bitched about inflation for 4 years.
Yep.
And now you got the inflation king coming back in that started the inflation problem in the first place.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
That continues to, yes.
He's going to do a import sales tax on wholesale goods. It's going to, in some cases, make your product go up 54% before it even gets to the stores in this fucking country.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to eat that?
Yeah.
The people, the sissy SpaceX that own the import companies, the rich people, or you and I?
Good point. Hey, so what do you think about the Fox? What do you think about the Fox News host that got arrested for doing drugs and being a pimp, and the 65+ year old voters?
Well, I think the 65-year-old olders have the life experience to remember what the world was like before Roe versus Wade.
Yeah,
they had a front row seat for it the first time, and now they're appalled that it happened the second time.
Sure.
Of course, they're going to resist the most because they fucking know. They know They know before Johnson did the Great Society and all those things. Yeah, they were there. They may have been young, but they were there. They remember it. It wasn't history to them. It was part of their life.
Yeah,
just like we watched the space shuttle blow up and we saw Reagan come to power. They saw somebody 65 and even 70 and above.
Yeah,
they saw all that. They're our parents' age. As far as the idiot from Fox, are we shocked? Come on,
that's right. Exactly.
It's like the pool boy with Jerry Falwell Jr.
Yeah, that's right. How quickly?
Having to pull out of the AG ship, and I don't know, transporting minors allegedly. I mean, come on. Being shocked that a Fox News associate was a pimp and probably did human trafficking.
I'd have been to laugh, but
would be like being surprised that the moon is cold. It would be like water is wet. I mean, like, come on, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Fox News is the epitome of stupidity.
Yeah.
And grossness. Are we shocked? It's just like when the shoe drops on, any of those Fox News people, when you find out and they get caught on whatever scandal they get caught in. Are we really shocked, people? Yeah. At this point in time, have we not watched enough religious conservatives and wackos from the alt-right? Are we sitting here going, gosh, we didn't see that coming?
Yeah. Good point. Excellent. I completely agree with you. Listen, when we return back from our first break, we're actually going to be talk briefly about how Twitter is now becoming MySpace. Do you remember MySpace?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love MySpace.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that. We'll be right back in Coffee and Pandulce right after this.
So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and support local Black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery. That has some fabulous pastries, food, king cakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallows, and much, much more. Some of the best food we eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. I wanted to thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pandulce shows. I also want to thank you so much for watching us on our video podcast, which is on Facebook and YouTube, but also for listening to us on our audio podcast shows on your favorite audio podcast platform, like Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podcast Chaser, and many more. Once again, thanks for watching us and listening to us on Coffee and Pandulce. Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire. They used to be the state of Florida, and we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Welcome back, everyone. So don't forget to, as Jenny said, to spend this holiday times loving your neighbor. That's been her theme from her show, and she's carried it on to our show. And we hope that you continue to do that. So, Jenny, I admittedly, I remember the name MySpace. I was never on MySpace. I don't remember how all of that worked. I just remember Facebook. And so tell me, I mean, do you remember MySpace?
Oh,
I mean,
I had a MySpace
okay.
a long, many moons ago. And I will say it was fun. In fact, MySpace kind of de-evolved and then evolved into a musical platform for a little while towards the end. And MySpace really just ended just a few years ago.
Okay.
And music connoisseurs kind of took it over.
Okay.
It actually de-evolved, but it just like Twitter now. We're watching Twitter de-evolve. It's collapsing. We're watching a $50-60 billion company turn into nothingness in front of us. Competition just gobbling up the market share like Blue Sky and all the other products, the meta products out there and things of that nature. There's some TikTok. I mean, the kids really don't want to be on Twitter anyway. They want to be on the TikTok and the Instagram. And just like with MySpace, Facebook, of course, with its capabilities and being the book of face, just blew MySpace out of the water. MySpace didn't. I mean, it disappeared almost overnight.
Yeah, it felt like it. Yeah,
and then Instagram was the next best thing, and then we saw the rise of Twitter and the TikToks and we had Vines there for a little while right before Instagram. And we've had so many evolutions of products that were basically some version of social media. That OG deal, that in the Yahoo, the Yahoo chat
message board. Oh, I remember that. I do remember that.
The AOL
yes.
Deals. And a lot of hookups were facilitated by that too.
I remember that. I do remember that. I will say.
Oh yeah.
Remember there was AOL chat. Do you remember AOL? Had chat rooms. And oh my God, this is really aging us. And so I remember that as well.
Forerunners to social media, because there's a way for people to connect, and then people, for the first time since the internet was released from the 1980s, late 80s, was that evolution of interaction is what they really founded the internet on, which was being able to communicate. Yeah, and that's what social media really is communication. It's not just media, but it's also being able to communicate thoughts and ideas to as broad of an audience as you can reach. And it's the ultimate power to the people. Unfortunately, it's not always used that way. It's used to manipulate people as well, especially dumb people. Which I guess they're going to be manipulated anyway. And so the most ridiculous theories are the ones that they embrace because they're like they're not smart enough to realize maybe that is stupid. Embracing a setbacks isn't the smartest thing to do, but Twitter's a dumpster fire and it's going away. I mean, like it's gonna have to change.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's so arrogant and he's so adamant. The board of directors will end up eventually the major stockholders, other than sue him, take him to court, force him to sell. Another company will buy out Twitter. But it'll never be the same because these other companies not going to be
market share. And they already got market share. So there's I don't know any young person under 40 that uses Twitter anymore.
Well, I know. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought, Jen.
I don't think the youths of America don't embrace Twitter because there's no real video on it, and the younger people just want to make fun videos and they want to reels on Instagram, and they want to see their celebrities. This bullshit of yelling at each other on Twitter, that's an old person. The only two people that use Twitter are old people that want to yell at other people and, to get off their lawn. And, of course, porn girls. There's tons of adult entertainment on Twitter.
Who use it just to get the
platforms. And so Twitter's dying on the vine.
That's an excellent point. And one of the things that I found very interesting, and this is just anecdotal, but I've noticed this, especially this election, on this show specifically, during the election in all of 2024, up until especially starting around March and April, when we really started to get a lot of comments on our social media, especially on Facebook, we got a lot of comments from what I thought were MAGA followers, MAGA supporters, and their whole goal was just to tie up the system with tie up the conversation to change the conversation. It was a disruptive type of strategy. And we couldn't do a show without getting, out of 10 comments, 9 out of the 10 comments were Trump 2024, the purge is coming, and about 70% of them we had to hide because they had nothing to do with the show, and we knew that was the whole goal of them, and going back and forth. When the election occurred, Jenny, it stopped. It is completely silent. That can only mean one of two things. That can either mean that suddenly these weren't real accounts, which we knew a large majority were not real accounts. All you have to do is look at the profiles. They got 5 or 10 followers, and that's obviously, which means that they were non-American accounts, that they were accounts that were from bot farms, from people who wanted to just disrupt the conversation. The election has been over. We've gotten maybe 2 comments since then about that. And so people who are the real people who are on Facebook didn't suddenly stop not watching Facebook. They just aren't the type of people that would comment on those things. Right. The reason I'm saying this, Jenny, was because it's so obvious, and Facebook has to know this. They know who's in their products. It's obvious that a very, very large percentage of the accounts on Facebook that do the comments and do the following were not real. And we in many ways, we took advantage of it because it allowed us to help our algorithms and so forth. But the reality is that people who are on social media have to understand that there are certain platforms that are very easily to manipulate. And Facebook is one of those. Twitter is another one. It is. We have all just joined it. I know this show and the other ones that we're doing have joined Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a little bit more difficult to manipulate at this time. It doesn't mean that in the future it won't occur, but the way their algorithms are done, it's very difficult to. It's harder to do it. And so currently, right now, Blue Sky is a pretty good conversation type of place.
Yeah. And here's one of the things: older people want to have conversations.
Sure.
And the ones that are more sane, like us, they just want to have conversations about what we need in society and how to do better. If you can control the algorithm, and I can prove the point. Not that I want to get banned for a few days, but if I took a nude of myself or whatever, something that was, a very adult, and I put it on Facebook, I'm telling you, it won't be up there more than a few minutes. If you don't think that they don't know what's going on, you're crazy. Yeah. These social media companies are run by very efficient security and supercomputers and AI. Meta Incorporated, which owns Facebook and Instagram, and the other one that I can't remember right now, the Twitter
Threads,
Threads. They all get controlled, and TikTok and all the social media has very, very powerful AI software to be able to regulate it, because obviously a human can't. You could hire
keep up with all of that
people, and so it's team that screens these things at first, and if they allow it, it's kind of like saying that the reality is that the DEA and all the people that protect our borders, they let some drugs in. You can't. We could lock down our ports and sniff every load that comes off the docks, but tons of drugs get imported in from shipping companies, and we know that. We allow a certain amount of illegal or street drugs in. Why? Because we know that people are going to smoke funny things. We know that it's going to happen. The downside is that social media is a two-way door.
Sure.
When you open that door, you're going to get good people on there. They're going to just post recipes and pictures of grandkids and vacations and things like that, or talk about social justice. But you're also going to get into people with nefarious intentions.
That's.
But if you have common sense, when you can tell the difference when you're talking to a person that's either a bot farm or an idiot, one or the other, or both, versus their replies are nonsensical. They don't even know. And so Twitter's been overcome by bot farms, really worse than Facebook. To where posting on there ain't worth it. I don't even I've looked at my Twitter account twice this year. And I used to be on it every day. So I don't miss it.
Okay. Well, listen, if you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on every Wednesday at 11:30. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. And it drops every Wednesday at 11:30 on your social media platforms, except Apple. We still have not gotten on Apple. And so, but otherwise, you can watch it or listen to it on your social media platforms. And this last break is about Jenny's show called Two Queers in a Truck. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching our Coffee Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget, you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join Jenny in her show. And I can safely say her message for December is love. Is that an appropriate theme that I all right, yeah. She's all right.
4-letter word.
That's right. 4-letter word. A good 4-letter word. That's right. So so do you think, not to kind of just beat a dead horse here, but do you think Twitter is gone? I mean,
I think it's going to evolve into a warm steaming pile of poop. I mean, I think it's just, I think it's going to drop down in relevance because you see so many people leaving it for other platforms, or they just use them. Like for me, I didn't really jump on other platforms right away. Yeah. When I stopped using it a year ago, I just concentrated on the social medias that I like better. Anyway, I never really liked Twitter. I was never a fan.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of Twitter. Yeah.
And then Postmusk, it just was a crappy product after that. It just isn't enjoyable anymore. Like it's just like a trough of poop and vitriol. It turned into such a dumpster fire. Most of the hate I received in the last year is all on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so why be on there?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. That's a very excellent point. All right. So listen, we're going to jump directly into the Pendejo Chronicles. And this is the Pendejo Chronicles. All right. Today's winner is a person who has won this now 3 times. I don't know if it's 3 weeks. I can't remember who last week's was. But anyway, so this week's winner is Seth Moulton. Seth Moulton, the congressperson from Pennsylvania. You remember that, Jenny? Right after the election said that one of the basically, in plain talk, blamed transgender Americans and the Democratic Party for blamed all the loss, not all the losses, but the national losses and so forth, on the fact that we want to protect transgender rights and so forth, and really doubled down on it and said, as a parent of 2 daughters, all the, the radical left, all the crazy ass stuff. Well, now Seth Moulton is saying, I'm going to read you what he's saying. He's kind of walking back a little bit. And now he is saying, now he's trying to say, well, I want to have conversations with people about this, and or as we say jokingly, what had happened was, and you
left
know,
my
and so
left
and
my
one of the,
my
yeah,
wallet in the other
yeah.
jacket. So if
So,
you can
so
pay for my hamburger
you
today,
can
I'll
buy my
gladly pay
hamburger
on
today. Well,
Tuesday.
so now he's a little concerned because the person that he beat in the primary 2 elections ago when he first won, who is now works at the White House, is considering running against him again in 2026 because he made the arrogant statement, "If you don't like what I say, run against me." Also, a mayor of a small city around his region has now made a decision that they're all looking at maybe running against him. And these are very progressive candidates in comparison to him. He basically is a moderate Republican disguised as a Democrat.
At best.
Yeah, because he lives in a Democratic state, and so he's, that's kind of what he's doing. And so now he's trying to sit back and say, I want to have these conversations. I want to talk to them, as if though he's doing us a favor for punching down on our marginalized individuals and using as a scapegoat. And so I want to see what you have to think about that, Jen. I don't know if you've been following him since we named him Pendejo over the week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks in a row.
It got more on my radar after you pointed out on the show, and I can say with any Dino or Democrat in name only,
sure,
like
Dino, we're using that term,
that doesn't have the guts to just run as a Republican.
Sure,
that is a spineless worm. Yeah, you're a punk ass, and yeah, and Seth Moth not only is the potato of the week, but he's the worst kind of Democrat. He will punch down on a minority of a minority, and is just a fucking coward. I mean, it's not that Democrats have done a good job of stopping these stupid anti-transgender bills, because there's 30 states that have taken away rights and access to medical care for transgender kids, for example. Democrats have done nothing really to stop the anti-trans movements in the political realm. If anything, they sat back, and Harris sat back and was complicit by being quiet. I don't know where the fuck he's pulling this out of his ass, but I'll tell you what, I feel abandoned from a transgender side of me. I don't feel supported by the Democrat Party. I've been supported by certain Democrats, including Christian on the show, who's always been supportive of me and my community. But the party as a whole, no, the Democrat Party is weaker than poppy pea on transgender issues. They've ducked tail and run ever since marriage equality, and they've been anything but supportive. They haven't necessarily proposed bills that are anti-transgender like the Republican Party is, but we definitely didn't lose. Name me the transgender person that spoke at the DNC this year. Oh, wait a minute. There wasn't one.
Sure.
They Uncle Tom does. So, yeah, as far as the DNC is concerned, go fuck yourself. As far as Seth Moulton, go drop in the Boston Harbor. Go take your lower lip and pull it over the top of your head.
Okay. All right.
Not that I have any feelings about that.
Yeah. How do you feel about this one, Jen? I knew
happy
you would.
Happy Festivus.
Yeah, happy Festivus. Speaking of that, thank you. That ends our show. And so thank you, Jenny. She's reminding me to remind you of our last 3 shows of the 7th season of Coffee and Pan Dulce. Our next show, we're going to kind of talk about Twitter a little bit more. It's called Sissy SpaceX, Trump's new first lady. We'll be talking about Elon Musk. The next show, I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. And then the show after that is the show that Jenny has been waiting for all year round, the Festivus Show 2024. What is it, Jen? I have I
got a long list of complaints, you people. Of grievances. It's a list of grievances. I got a lot of grievances, and y'all are gonna. Not that I ever hold back in the other parts.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so demure and subtle. I'm about as subtle as a busted chainsaw without any oil in it. Like, I mean, come on. I mean,
So that, and then the last show of the year to end our 7th season and to end December of 2024, we're gonna talk about the imaginary war on Christmas. So we'll be talking about, it's about as real as Santa Claus. So
yeah, I mean, if anything, we talk about Christmas more nowadays.
Exactly.
They start putting out the Christmas displays in the middle of October before Halloween's even over. We haven't even talked about Thanksgiving, and you already see Christmas tree displays and the big inflatables that you can put in your yard now. Like, it's just wild. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Festivus. It's my favorite. One of my favorite shows we do every year is the Festivus.
Excellent. And just to give you a little taste of some of our January shows, because we're not going away. We'll go into our 8th season in January with Jenny's show. We also have 2 more shows coming on. We have the Tony Foreman show, which will be starting in conjunction with the Donde Que. It is a show about Latino concerns and so forth. And we're still looking for a host. If you're listening to this and watching this, we're looking for a Latina to host The Chancla Show. So if you know someone who would be interested in hosting a podcast, send us an instant message. Contact Jenny and I when you see us out and about. And we're looking for a host for The Chancla Show, which would be about Latina social issues. Anyway, so just to let you a couple of titles. We're going to have Trump derangement syndrome. Is that what it's called? Trump derangement syndrome? Yes, we're going to have Trump derangement syndrome. Anyway, whatever it is, we're going to milk the heck out of it in January. We're going to talk about will Trump pardon the January 6th traitors? We'll also give you some hints on how to join the MAGA resistance movement that's going around all around the country. That people are starting to get together to find out how they can fight back against Trump and the Project 25 things that possibly he wants to come in. And then we will examine America's first felon president's inauguration. We'll be talking about that. And then after Trump takes office, we're going to take a very serious look about Trump's Operation Wetback 3.0. He plans to, we're titling it Operation Wetback, which was kind of a derogatory term that was used in the 1920s and also in the 1950s about deporting immigrants. And basically the Latinx Latino community is to remind people that this is basically very similar to that program that was installed during those time periods. And so we have a lot of shows in January, and 2025 we hope is going to be prosperous for all of us. So Jenny, we've gone over a little bit, any remarks you want to say about after this drops, since we've I can see that face of yours going, oh my God.
January's going to give us your gifts. I'm excited about the feedback that we will get in January. We definitely like to bring it onto ourselves, but then again, that's what makes it funny. But yeah, it is that's awesome. And I would love to we'll rock it out in 2025. All right. But 2024 is over.
Yes, excellent. Well, listen, we'll see you next week in Coffee Pan Dulce. We'll dance out to our imaginary music that we dub in.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and, enjoy this holiday season the best you can. And love your neighbor. There's a lot of us amongst us that are disadvantaged, and do what you can to help for those of us that have a little extra. Maybe reach down and reach out and, hug somebody that needs a hug. Anyway, have a great holiday season. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
See you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Next up, thanks for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Next up is Two Queers and a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
You sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying this. All I have to say is go.
Yes, as a non-Spanish speaker.
Recording. All right, Jim, when we come back, I'm just going to read what it says about MySpace on the Google machine, and then you can tell me about your. See, I don't remember MySpace. But I wasn't social media at that time. All right, here we go. Okay, Jen, we're going to do the Pendejo Chronicles, and then we have only 4 minutes left. Here we go.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.